Hello everybody, welcome back to another Hot Wheels ramble video. Now I haven't been to the shop, so I have nothing new to show you this time. But I still have plenty of old cars to display over here. So I didn't go to the shop, but I did go to my wardrobe and I opened up my Vans shoebox full of my Asian cars. And the first one that I picked up was actually this Carbonator over here. Now, I assume that this is a pretty famous Hot Wheels made car because it's been running for a long time. I don't, right now, for some reason, I don't see the year on the bottom of this one. Maybe it doesn't even say, or maybe I'm just blind, but they've been making this one for a long time, and I only recently, well, I said relatively recently discovered it, because the first one that I bought was one before this. I don't remember the name, but the color combination is like orange and green, I think. And I think the other one was a part of the Xperi Motors lineup, so it's a little weird that this one isn't part of the fast foodie cars. So the other one that I bought, that was the first one that I found. I actually carry that one around on my set of keys because that makes them really easy to recognize. I did lose them in a taxi once, and the driver immediately recognized them, so I was lucky enough to have that car on my keychain, so, and I got them back. And yeah, as soon as I saw this one, it seemed a little special. I had no idea. I think at the time I had no idea that there is something like an Earth Day. And wow, this one is from 2022. I haven't seen any other Earth Day celebration cars ever since, or I don't remember seeing any ones before. But on this one in particular, I do love the color combination that they decided to put on this car, because this bottom is really gorgeous. It's made of metal, it's shaped like a bottle opener, so I mean that's why it's called the Carbonator, so you can open your carbonated drinks with it. And I love the color combination. I like that shade of green. I love this like beige, sort of a boring beige color on it, but my favorite has to be the metal part of the car, because it's like this beautiful like pearl or chameleon. Do people still call it chameleon? Like when it changes color, or is it just pearlescent or something like this? So it's like a sort of a combination of brown and orange, and it just goes really well. Like all those colors fit really well together, in my opinion. Yeah, I definitely don't see myself opening this one to open any bottles, but I did use the one on my keys a couple times. It really came in handy. Not that I drink a lot of not that I drink beer or anything that comes in a glass bottle too much, but whenever it was necessary, it was always good to have it on my keys. It makes for a pretty big keychain, but I guess that's why they put it in the Xperi Motors lineup, because it's actually useful. So that was really nice, and I think this is a really gorgeous model over here. I must have picked it up 3 years ago or something. And just like the rest of these cars, this is a part of like my older sort of collection. I don't separate my collection in like by like, I don't separate it by like dates, like when I got it or anything like that. I just separate it by the parts of the world where the cars come from. Now, since the cars are made in Malaysia or China, I'm not sure, so I just always put these fake cars in the Asian box. And now the next one that I picked up is this really beautiful 1998 Honda Prelude. It's just yeah, when I saw this in the, I actually thought it's an S14, because I first saw the back of the car from like a sort of a distance, and then I picked it out of the box and it was a Prelude. And of course I can't remember all the models that I have, and I definitely did not remember having a Prelude in my collection. These are extremely rare to see in real life, I believe, and that wasn't the case just a handful of years ago. Maybe like 5 or 10 years ago, these Preludes, at least here in my country, were everywhere. You still saw a whole lot of them, but today they are really pricey. They are either completely rusted out or extremely well kept. It's either one or the other. And yeah, I really like having this Hot Wheels model. I really love the way it looks. I love a car with a sunroof. It looks really nice. It's got that nice electric blue metallic color, and I love the way they detail this. Like, you don't see this very often on mainline cars, but look at that. It's got a Japanese license plate on the back. It's got the Honda logo, which is a little off-center, but that's no big deal. It's got like fully colored backlights and really nicely detailed front lights as well. Like the main front lights are plastic, but you can also see the fog lights and the marker lights underneath, and it just looks really nice for a mainline car. This just looks really incredible. Even details on the bottom of the car, it just looks really nice. It's not even a treasure hunt or anything like that, just a regular mainline Honda Prelude, and it's a part of the Honda lineup. I really wonder what else came out at the time of this Prelude, like, you know, Hot Wheels wise. I wonder what other cars they were putting out. I definitely have some S2000s in my collection and some Honda Cities and everything, but like I do wonder specifically about this particular Honda lineup. Like, what else was in there? I do have a lot of cars, so I can't remember all of the ones that I have, but at some point I definitely do want to go through them and really just take a look, maybe even make a list of all the cars that I have. Right now I'm only making a list of all the cars that I make videos about. So yeah, a lot of cars on that list already. So yeah, this is fun. I'm happy to be still doing this. And the next one that I picked up, it's yeah, 34 Skyline, very recognizable. This one is also really nicely detailed. It's got a big GTR logo in the back. It's got a nice loud exhaust in the back, and the back lights are colored. The front lights aren't, which is a bit of a shame, but you know, still mainline car, nothing special. This is a reminder of the good old days when even in the big toy stores they used to cost less than €2. Now they cost, I think, 3 or more, even €4, I think, in most shops that I go to. And that's mostly why I stopped going to those stores, and I just buy them from the smaller stores where they don't care about the price too much. You know, they cost $150. $150 is the lowest that I've seen them cost these days. And I actually, even now that I have it in my hands, I definitely feel like going to the shop today and actually taking a look if I can find anything new or like something cool, you know. But yeah, it's always cool to have a Skyline. I bet people were ravaging the bins for Skylines because everybody always thinks that they're gonna have a huge resale value. Maybe they will. I really have no idea. This has got to be a really old one. Let me take a look at the back of the car. I don't see the year anywhere. I do have the tripod and the camera in front of me. So I was really curious when I bought this because I have no idea, because this car looks kind of old, like 4 or 5 years old probably, like maybe even 2017, 2018, I think, because the graphics used to be really distinct from those times. So I think I might have picked this up over 5 or 6 years ago. I'm honestly not sure, and I'm also not really sure what the Need for Speed logo is doing over here, because this particular Skyline was not in any Need for Speed game as far as I can tell. I mean, of course the Skylines were in the Need for Speed games, but like not this one in this particular style with these graphics on it. Maybe I'm mistaken. I did play all the Need for Speed games. I am just not sure if anything like this was in any of them, so I'm not sure why the Need for Speed logo is on this one. Maybe it's got a meaning, maybe I'm just thinking too deeply about it. I really shouldn't. It's just really cool to have a Skyline, and it's also nice to remember how little they used to cost back then. So yeah, now I'm basically buying only cars on these little cars because, as I said before, they cost $1.50. So, you know, that is not a car, this is a bike, pretty obvious. It's a Honda Super Cub. I imagine that it's got a 50cc engine in real life. It's very poorly detailed in my opinion, I think. Not a lot of stuff going on over here. Not even the logo is a part of the actual model itself, just like you can see on the card over here. It's got a little Honda logo over there. The wing mirrors are not there. And yeah, there was a time when I was really into bikes. I still never had one in real life. I always think about getting one each summer, but yeah, I was really excited whenever a bike came out. And this last year, there was only one that I picked up. It was a Triumph Tiger 100, the blue one with the white, like a silver rider on top of it, because it was retro and it was nice. And I imagine so is this. This looks like a bike that was made in the 70s or 80s. I don't know much about bikes. I look at them and I cannot distinguish like what year they're made or anything like that. But it does look retro and it looks nice. And when I'm holding it in my hands, it feels like, it honestly feels like I'm only holding the paper itself. Like if I was to take this out, I can't even guess how many grams that would have to be. But this is honestly like one of the lightest Hot Wheels models that I had in my hand. I mean, it doesn't have a lot of stuff going on, obviously. It's all plastic, but it's really nice. I like having it, and I wonder if it came in any other colors. Perhaps it did, because these bikes, they usually do, from what I can tell. But yeah, this is the Honda Super Cub. I've never seen it in real life. It's not a treasure hunt. None of these were treasure hunts, actually, just regular cars from my Asian box. And yeah, like I said, never seen it in real life, don't know anything about it, but it does look nice, and this is something that I can imagine myself on, because I feel like it's always a good idea whenever somebody's getting into motorcycles to get a small bike to learn on, and not something huge that you're gonna grow into, because you might end up hurting yourself or worse. And I wouldn't want that to happen. So maybe something nice, light and small to start off with would be nice for me if I ever get into bikes, maybe in my midlife crisis or anything. And yeah, that's it. I think I may continue either with the American box next time or with the Asian box, or maybe I'm gonna actually go to the store, check for something new, maybe a nice treasure hunt or something if I get lucky. And yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.